Hi boys, Deus 2 version 200, the 9-inch coal. I'm still sort of looking at this bird dog setup. I want to show you something here that's sort of interesting. Now I've got the silencer moved to 2, okay, in both this conventional program 6.8 and a 0 Deus sensitive FT, okay. And let's look at this at 2.5. So this is the conventional setup, okay? Notice what that ID is doing there. It's predominantly staying single digits. Now that nickel is more out toward the end there, okay? Okay, now we're going to go over here to the bird dog setup. Again, the same silencer, 2. Okay. The notch on this machine, I've got 0 through 2 opened up, but I'm going to change that. But it's on the second line. You just can't see it in that screen right there. Okay, 0 or 1 and 2 are opened up. 1 and 2. Right, see what that meter's doing? Okay, now watch this. I'm starting to maybe get a better idea of how I should try this bird dog program. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to take out the number 1. So number 2 is all that's open, okay? And I've got it notched 2 through 7 on the second line. Now watch what happens here. Watch that ID. It goes straight over to 80 roughly. See that? Do you see that in that camera? When I take out that number 1 and I come across that. Okay? You see that? You hear how that target sounds? So that's just the number 2 open. So I've got 1 took out, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's turn this camera off. Okay, we changed out the nickel for, that's a clad dime, same nail. You see sort of where that coin is. Again, I've got number 2 opened up on this machine. Now here's conventional settings, same silencer. Now I've lowered the silencer to 1, okay? Because it don't do so well on that dime at silencer 2. I can hear it though, but it doesn't do as well. So here's silencer 1, conventional program. Let this car get by here. I'll turn this camera off. Okay. So now that we've got this dime down here, now this is the conventional program 6.8 Deus with a notch in it, okay, of 0 through 7, okay? So you get to hear that. Now remember, that dime is not in the most challenged position, okay? See that meter's doing? It's popping at 86. So now we're going back to this bird dog setup. Again, silencer is at 1. Okay. But I've got only the number 2 opened up. Okay. We're going to sweep this. If you watch that meter, see that 86 popping there? Alright. So I'm going to go down here. Now I've took out the number 1, okay? And 0, I guess. So you get to see what that meter's doing there. See how it's rolling? Alright. So now I took out the number 1. And when we do that, take that number 1 out, that 86 is easier seeing that window on sweep. See that? Now, I'm going to leave it set up like this. So number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are, number 2 is accepted. Number 1 is not accepted, okay? 0 is not accepted. So 2 is all that's open. 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are taken out. Now the dab is moved over to more challenge position. So we hear it there, and of course you know we're going to get it here. Okay, now the conventional program shows you how it's set up. 0 through 7 is notched. Okay. You hear what we hear. Okay, so what I'll do is I go back in here to the conventional program and I'm going to take the notch out, go back in, and I'm going to accept, I'm going to accept 1, 2, and 3. What does this machine sound like? So I've got 4 through 7 notched out. So we hear an iron tone. That's all we hear. Notice that? So we have to start letting the disc down. See there? So when I get that disc down there around 0, we start getting that number 2 in the window. If I remove the dime, and we're in the conventional setting still. So the nail reached 3. Okay, we're going back to the bird dog program. And we don't get anything, and that's the number 2 only opened. I'm starting to think maybe the number 2, maybe a better way to use this machine is just to leave the number 2 open. Try it, because it's going to pick up more stuff. Okay, a number 1 open on that bigger nail there don't do so well on this machine using a nickel or a dime. Okay, just thought I would share.